Hey there, everybody. Robert Taylor with Wonderscape Creations, continuing on with our world building series, specifically with the materials. This is the last episode before we get into PCG. We will have this completely working and set up. So after this, please make sure you, um, you know, go into uh, the Quixel Bridge or get wherever you get your textures and get everything set up and looking how you wish it to look as far as the textures go. And then in the PCG episodes, we will obviously start getting everything ready there. So there's quite a bit to cover to get us finished, and we're going to go ahead and get started. But before we do, I'd like to provide a brief shout out to my Patreon supporters. If you would like to join my Patreon, the link is down below. Additionally, if you'd rather just thank me for my time, you can always buy me a coffee, link below as well. So before we do anything else, let's go ahead and copy and paste the debug material setup that we have in Biome 01 or any of the other ones. And we need to open up our Cliff. Because Cliff doesn't have it yet, we're going to get this set up. Perfect. Then I'm going to double click on this. And we're going to make you a bright blue color. Okay. Save, we can close that. We can close this. We don't need the dirt. Let's hit yes, because apparently something got changed. Now, we need another blend material attribute. Copy, paste. This one goes on here. The next thing we need is the cliff. Place that right here. Now, we need all of this. Well, we're going to make a few changes, obviously. So we'll go ahead and hit copy, paste. This is going to be dirt slope mask. And then we will call this one slope mask 2 and slope mask 2 minus. Perfect. The next thing we want to do is to did I do something wrong right here? I certainly did. That's not how that works. One second. All right, so I didn't notice it because we're using the 1 minus, which is exactly how it is, how it's supposed to be. But for slope 1, we need to make sure that we add without the 1 minus. So if you care about that, make sure you get that changed. So now we are going to delete these two nodes because we don't need them. Slope mask 2 goes there. Slope mask 2 minus goes here. It's looking good so far. Now we need to change this, and we are going to make it dirt all around. Copy, so we can then paste, 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 and paste. Now this one, I believe we would then want to go with 8. So we'll hit save to find out. We will now come over here, get let me make sure we get the right one. Yes. Mask, slope mask 2 minus. Then we place this right there. Hit the save button. And look at that. We now have Snowtop up here. Still got the cliff showing. And then it's supposed to be a pinkish color. It kind of looks like it is. Let us come in here to the master material here. These need to be check marked, because that'll help me see it. Yeah, okay, they're both there. Perfect. So yeah, We now have that set up. Adjusting the variables is something we can do later down the road. Come in over here. Now we need to change these to 1.2. Dirt. Now, as you can see right now, everything's jumbled up. If we come over here and we hit save. There we go. Dirt and biome separated. Nothing to worry about there. Alright, let's hit save. It's looking good. It's looking fantastic. It's looking clean. The next thing we want to do is to get the layers set up. And before we do that, I do want to briefly state that if you are wanting the snow to go deeper than just where the dirt was, you would need to place this cliff on this side, and then with the height mask you would need to have your own slope mask added to it, which I showed you how to do here. When adding area to slope, you would just add slope to height and do it that way. So just a little friendly advice there. That's not how we are going to do it. We're going to keep things separated like this. Now, the reason that we are separating these over here and this over here is we are now going to do a landscape layer blend. And now anything we paint, the cliff will stay where it's at because we are going to have it on the other side of this blend. So first we need to hit this. Let's see, we have the auto, we have the cliff, we have the dirt, and then we have 5 biomes. Alright, now I'm going to say auto layer, cliff, dirt, biome 01, biome 02. Let's just copy this real quick, it'll make it easier. Biome 03, biome 04, and biome 05. Okay, we're gonna hit save right here. Perfect. We now want to get these, copy and paste. This one, copy and paste. Get it set up just like this. Now we want to get, we got 1, 2, so we want 3, 4, and 5 brought in here. Perfect. Now, just to be safe again, we're going to hit save. Place this in here. Cliff, layer, biome 1, biome 2, biome 3, biome 4, and biome 5. Drag that into here. As you can see, we still have the blue, which is the cliff, and then this is black, so you'll see something similar happen right now after we hit save. And that is because now that we're using the landscape layer blend, the world needs to know which layer to start with. So we're going to come in here, go into paint, and I was hoping this bug would show up. Sometimes it does, more frequently than it used to, so we're going to hit save to save everything. And we need to go to our level and open it back up. Save whatever it's saying to save, and let the landscape open back up. Go back into landscape, and now they're showing up. We don't have any, so you'll need to hit the plus icon, wait layer blend, save, give it a moment to populate everything for us, because the auto layer is the layer we want showing. Perfect. Everything's back to how it was. after this video. Make sure you add all these in. Once we start painting everything, I will already have that set up. So now that we have this all prettied and beautified, we need to get RVT set up. We also need to have the visibility mask. That's for those who wants to make caves and need to erase part of the landscape in order to be able to make said caves. So to do that, we are going to drag out of here and do the set material attributes and hit the plus sign here, and we want to change this base color to opacity mask, and then we're going to right click and type visibility to get the landscape visibility mask. Place that in there. So now we are able to erase the landscape on command. The next thing we want to do is now to pull out of here and do get material attributes. We're going to hit the plus sign 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We want base color, then specular, then roughness, then normal, and lastly opacity mask. Next thing we want to do, right click and type runtime. We want the output version, so we can then plug these in. Base color, specular, roughness. For normal, we want to get a transform vector, so we can transform it from tangent space to world space, just like that. Sorry, this is going to bother me. There we go. And then, because I'm never sure which one we want, I believe it's opacity, but I haven't fully messed with it yet, so I would just put it in both. Here we go. And now RVT is going to be working once it's fully and totally set up. Let's save right here. From this point on, we will be doing getting to where RVT shows on the landscape instead of seeing the, what we see now, and that's going to take a little extra time. So if you already know what you're doing, you can go ahead and end the video now and go ahead and do it. Otherwise, feel free to continue to follow along. This will take a bit of time. So the first thing we're going to want to do is in our material landscape, we're going to right click, new folder, RVT. Open this up. Let me check my notes real quick. We are going to right click, type runtime to get runtime virtual texture, and we're going to name it RVT underscore landscape material underscore LG. Open it up. Let me see what I've got mine at. I have this set to 12, 2 and 4. Then I have this set at the highest one possible. Hit save. All right. Yes, here. Sorry, I am getting a few things organized because this setup, it's normally how it's set up. It's just not something that I've committed to memory because RVT hasn't been around as long as everything else that I've shown you. So the next thing we are going to want to do is we're going to pull out of this set material attributes, and we're going to type virtual texture feature switch. And then I'm going to right click again, and I'm going to do a static switch parameter, and we're going to name this RVT underscore use RVT texture on landscape. Not sure why this happened. There we go. That's why. There. So on true, we go right here. On false, we go right there. We want you straightened out. We'll put you like this and like this. Next thing we are going to want to do is we're going to hit save here. And we are going to check in our settings because I'm not sure if I set it up. Go into all, virtual. I do not have it enabled. So you're going to want to check mark this. And then just in case we want to use the opacity mask, we'll use enable virtual textures on opacity mask. And you're going to need a restart. I'm going to pause while it restarts everything. Alrighty, welcome back. So let's go ahead and get this finished up. So we want materials, landscape, RVT. We're going to need this now. So first things first, let's click on the landscape. We're going to scroll down until we find virtual textures. We'll hit the plus sign. And we are going to place this material right there. Perfect. The next thing we are going to do is we're going to come to our place actors. Yours may be up here. I like the old-fashioned way of having this. So runtime. Look at this bad boy. Place it right there in the world. Come down here to details. Now we want to select our landscape. It won't let us set the bounds yet, but as soon as we have this filled, we can now set the bounds. There we go. We now have it showing up right here. So, if we come here to lit, and we come here to optimize view mode, view modes, shader complexity, you'll see right here, or dark red. Now usually once we have all of the big bad stuff set up, you have the potential in larger worlds to being all the way over here in the pink. So this helps a great deal when you're trying to reduce it. With how little is there might not be much reduced, but we will see it once we have this all done. So now that we have this, we want to drag out of the yes and type set material attributes. Again, we're going to hit the plus sign a few times. We want base material, specular, roughness, normal, and then the opacity mask. There it is. Next thing we want is the runtime virtual texture sample. We need to make sure we get this virtual texture that's sitting right here looking pretty. Place it right there. And then base color to base color, specular to specular, roughness to roughness. We need this transform vectors again. This time we will be going from world space to tangent space. Normal to normal, mask to mask. Fantastic. All right. Now, when we plug this in, well, before we do that, I want to give this a spot. So we need to make you 0.1 RVT. Hit save. Oh, I saved it without plugging it in. Silly me. Let's hit save here. We shouldn't see a difference yet because we haven't check marked that on. So now when we come up here, here it is. Let's check mark it on. There we go. There is a very slight difference. If you put your finger under the PS and you uncheck it, you'll see that there is a slight difference. Now, obviously, it will, if you were just doing, say, the base color, it would be even cheaper, but then you'd run out on the normal roughness, all that other stuff that's needed. Additionally, now no matter how complex this gets, no matter what, it will stay where it was just now. But with RVT off, it would continue to rise. And that's because now it's just looking at it from top down and taking a picture and placing it on the landscape. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you get RVT set up on your landscape as well. Thank you guys for watching, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next episode and the next section of the series where we start working on PCG. Have a good one.